Hello, all. Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, based on wherever you are. So, as I've said in the last video, I started going back to the community portal, start looking at is there a question where I can help, and then if it makes sense and it seems a gap, why not talk about those in these series of community questions? So, when I went today, I saw a question. Let's quickly look at it. It says work description. Can we replicate same into purchase order? And how to create a column like work description in sales order and want to add similar functionality on purchase. So we'll try doing today is trying to replicate it on purchase document, but it's a pattern and you can use a similar pattern across application or across other areas in the application if needed. So just for example, if you need it into the transfer area of business central, you can just follow the same model what we discussed in today's video. Or if you have a completely custom model of yours and you would like to include this feature, you can just follow the same pattern. So let's get into it without wasting further time into it. Okay, so just quickly, if you don't know where it is, how you can see it, when you go into sales order, and this has been there from NAV, and when you try to create a new sales order, under general tab, you see an option where you can provide a text. And then this text gets posted with your document so that you will be able to access this on your posted sales invoices, sales shipments, and other areas, credit memos, and all. But this feature is not available as of today in the purchase model. And that's where this video comes in, where we'll try to mimic this model or pattern in the purchase area. Okay, so let's get into it. I already have an extension. I haven't done anything on this, just created the structure for the time being. Here, let's go into the base application and let's try to identify how Microsoft is doing it so that we kind of try to mimic that model. So it's in the sales order. So let's get into the sales header and search for work description. It seems there is a field. So let's copy this field and create a new table extension. And this time we'll create it as SDH purchase header, which will be extending the purchase header table. And in that, we'll add a field as it is. If I did not copy it, I guess. Let's copy this in and let's paste it in here. Now, because it is in our range of the customization, I should be adding the prefix and I should also be changing the number to the range that is assigned to the app that I'm building. Right. So if this is a PT, so I'm using 50,000. If you're building for app source, you surely use your normal series. Okay. Anything else on the sales header regarding this? Let's see. Oh, there seems two methods. One is the set work description and one is the get work description. So I'll just copy it as it is and we'll talk about it, what these methods do. And I'll just place them here. Okay, but because my field have the prefix, I'll just have to update the reference everywhere. So let me do that. Okay, so I've copied a field from sales header and we have placed it into the purchase header. And then we also have copied the two methods from the sales and pasted it into the purchase. Now it seems that there is a parameter and hopefully this is not something. So let's check that. Okay, nothing. Okay. Now that's the part one where on the sales order screen, user will be able to see it in the same way. By creating this field on the purchase, we have made that flexible. The other part of the equation is that when it get posted. So let's get into the posted sales invoice somewhere here or shipment. So what we do is we go here again and we search for work description. Again, there is a field. Notice that the field ID is same. We'll just copy this and we'll create another table extension, this time for purchase or maybe purge receipt. Is it purchase receipt? I'm bad at it. I guess it's purge receipt header. Okay, so let's copy it as it is and place it here and say SDH purchase receipt header. Let's finish this. And as it was here, so we can just copy this here. So let's copy it from here and place it here also at the same ID. Anything else on this? Let's search for it. Yeah, there is one method in this case in the poster table called get work description. So we'll just copy this and paste it into the purchase receipt header table. And let's fix the compilation mom, which is appending our prefix into it. Okay. Now, in sales, you have options to ship an invoice. In purchase, you have option to receipt an invoice. So we'll create another table extension, and this time we'll look for purge. Okay, invoice header. We'll copy this and call it as SDH, and we'll finish this. We'll copy everything from here as it is from the receipt and paste it into the invoice. Now you'll notice that on the unposted table, which is the purchase header table, there were two methods, set and get, whereas in the posted table there is only one method called get. We'll come to it. Okay, so you have done the table part of the equation. Now the second part of the equation is the pages. So let's see what happens on the sales order page. In the sales order page, when you search for work description, you get a group where there is a field added, which is passing a text variable, it seems, or a variable. It's not a table field. And then there is some code written. So let's copy this and add it into a page extension, and we'll call it as purchase order, and we'll call it as STH purchase order. Okay, we have to add this, so we'll just do a layout and we will add it at add last in my first tab, which is called as journal, and in this we'll add this group. Now it seems that the work description, as I said, is not a field, so we should search for it. Okay, going down here on after get record, there is a reference of get work description. Now this method was in the table, and what it is doing is whenever the record is fetched for a sales order, it goes and calculates that blob field and return you the description that need to be shown to the user. So what you can do, we'll just copy this and on after get record. So in the page extension, you can also call triggers. So we'll call trigger, search for on after get record, and in this we'll write the same line of code. Okay, anything else regarding work description? Let's search for it. There's a text variable for this, so let's copy this and define it here also. Work description. That should compile my object. That seems to be compiled. I'll just change this to all for the time being. Okay, anything else? Let's search here. Nope, so we are good here. So now if you look at it, on the validate, when user types in something, what it does, it sets the work description, which is the other method that was available in the sales order table, and we added it into the purchase header table. So the set will load the value into this field by writing it into the stream and then to the blob field. Whereas the get will try to fetch the value that is last stored and will return you the text that was stored. So in this way, we are settled down with the purchase order page. The second thing that comes is the posted document. So let's have a look on posted. Okay. Purchase invoice, let's say this time. And let's search for work description. And I'm on posted purchase invoice. My bad. I should be into the posted sales invoice. So let's get in here. And let me search it. Sales. Okay. Invoice. And if I search for work description, I get a group again. And there is nothing after that. So we just have a group in the journal tab. I'll just copy this. Let's get into the page extension and let's create a new page extension. This time for posted purchase receipt or in okay purchase invoice screen, and let's say it as STH posted purchase invoice. If I can do that, yes I can. In this, let's do it simply in the layout area at the last into my group where I want to show this. In that, I'll just plug this in. Now if you notice here, there are no method that we defined other than get work description into the table, and that get work description is actually being called as the field expression. So anytime the page gets slowed, it will try to fetch the value of get work description. If it is like this in the purchase invoice, it will be same in the other page. So let's do this and let's search for posted purchase receipt. Okay, let's copy this here. Okay, surely create a shortcut citing this. Let's finish this and then go to the purchase invoice and just copy all this. Okay, so I've done that. So now we have the tables and pages. Now let's talk about the data movement. Now typically people who understand how the central posting happens in your code unit 80 in case of sales, and same in code unit 90 in cases of purchase, the posted documents are actually created here. So let's see that. It's called create posting header, I guess. If I'm still wrong, it's still right. Okay, let's see shipment header. Okay, oh, that doesn't sound good. Okay, insert posted header is a method which is calling here, and then at this, let's go into this. Okay, insert shipment header. So what's happening here, if you notice that for any flow field, you will have to calculate the value before you assign it to the target record. And because the posted document are created based on the transfer field logic or transfer fields logic, the normal field value automatically get transferred till the point the ID of the field on the source record and the target record is same. But especially in case of work description, because it's a blob field, you will have to calculate it before the transfer field happens. So we'll have to kind of utilize the similar pattern in my purchase cycle. So when I search for the similar method in my code unit 90, I might be wrong from the function that I've copied, but that's okay. If I search for insert invoice header, what I see that there is this happening in invoice header initializing, then transferring the value, and then everything happens here. And here there is an option to set some field. But remember, the transfer field has already happened. So if I want to manage the field in the same way, I'll have to do something, which is the calculation of my custom work description before this line. But the only way of doing it is here on before insert invoice header. So let's give it a try. Okay. So what I'll do in code unit, I'll just create a new code unit and we will call it as SDH work description subscribers. Okay. Okay, let's shorten this. Let's finish this. And in this, let me mark this as it is, and we'll also look into the other one, which is insert receipt header, more or less. So let's look at it. The receipt header. Okay. Here. So in the receipt header, there is again something which is before the transfer field. Okay, so let me copy this. So I know the two events that I need to subscribe to. So let's do a t event sub of my code unit, and the code unit is purchase post. Okay, the event that I'm trying to subscribe to is this. There's no element name. I would not like to skip in case of license, and I don't like to skip if there is a permission in this case. And let's say, okay, copy SDH work description is my method name, and inside this I should be able to find the parameters that I need, which is purchase header for sure, and the purchase. I don't think I need invoice header. I just have to do this, which is purchase header dot calc fields and SDH work description. Because now by this line, the value of this field is calculated, and then after this, it'll get assigned to the invoice header. So I just need this. I'll just copy the same pattern, paste it here, and in this case, I just have to change this to be this, and then say copy work description to receipt, and here to invoice. Okay, let's see what other parameters are available here, because it's a posting routine. There can be other things. Now the method that seems is window. I don't care about it at this moment. Source code, it's okay. Record link, I'm not interested. The target record, not interested. Hide progress dialog, nothing that seems important to be set. So I don't need anything else. Hopefully, with just this code that we have written, we should be able to first see the description field or the work description field into my purchase screen, and then we should be able to utilize it the way we are expecting it. Now remember, while this is being published, it's a pattern, right? And you can just apply this pattern anywhere when you need, which is add the field into the source and the target table, if there is one, which is target table. In your case, it may not be. Support it with the method that are needed to set and get the value from the blob and show it to user. Then the other part of the pattern is to add the page element where users can see it. Just by adding it into the tables does not make it displayable to user. So add the page component. By using them, user will be able to see that. And then because it's a blob field, you surely will have to write the logic to transfer the data from the source entity to the target entity. In this case, particularly in the purchase scenario, the data transfer happens via transfer field, so we didn't have to write much logic. But if there is a field to field mapping or something like that, then you also will have to write that transfer logic. Okay, let's come to this. Let's open a purchase order and we see the work description. So that's a good hit. Let's see. This is first line, and I will close and reopen page to validate function calls. Okay, I move focus. Hopefully the set work description has been called and it has been saved. Let's open it again, because now the get work description was called and it is back here. Line 2, work description. Okay, now let's try posting this to see does it even go into the poster document or not. So I have here 14 quantities of this particular item. I'll just change the receiving as 1 and invoicing also as 1. So I'm just doing the partial receiving and invoicing of this. And I just do a post, do a receive an invoice. Okay, and my order number is this, because this will be utilized to refer these poster documents. Because when you post from the order documents, the order number becomes the reference document there, or there is a field order number into the poster table. So now if I look at the invoices of this document, I'll be able to see hopefully one, but if there are multiple, that's okay. We just need to pick the last one. So here I only see one, and if I open this, I should be able to see the work description that I typed in my purchase order. Now remember, this is a posted purchase invoice, so you cannot modify things here, and that's the reason I should have made it editable false. That's the reason you only have get work description. You don't have a set work description into the posted purchase receipt and the invoice table that we created. So let's get into receipt and see did our code work or not, and it did. So let's quickly summarize what you have to do before we kind of move forward or end this video. 3 things. You have to identify the pattern where it exists, and then try to mimic the same pattern, which starts with creating the fields into the table and the supported functions to get and set the work description. Then also add the required field and methods into the target tables, which is posted documents in our scenario. And then, or before that, add the visual element into the pages so that user can utilize that feature that you're baking in. And last but not least, write the code to transfer the field from the source to the target document. I'm pretty sure this will help to the person who have asked that question in that community portal, but I'm hoping that this helps you to understand how you do this into other application areas. You know the drill. If you like the content, hit the like button. If you think you know the people who had challenged by this problem in the past, or who would be interested into kind of understanding how you do this, then share this video on your social media. And if you haven't, then please do subscribe to the channel. That helps us to understand a feedback loop. Are we doing it correct? Are we making some mistakes somewhere? And your comments are very valuable. So either they are good or bad, I would love to hear from you into the comment section. So let me know about your thoughts about this video into the comments, and I'll see you sooner than later into the next video in either on this series or whatever else we are doing right now. Till then, have a great day and keep learning and keep sharing. Thank you.